I'm gonna show you how I make my super yummy stuffed bell peppers. It's really, really easy and it's so yummy and so fast. All right, here we go. First thing is you cut the tops off, and we're gonna be saving this and using it for the filling, so don't throw it away. And then I just take the inside and I grab it and pull it out, and you can get all that stuff. You can just pull it out with your fingers pretty easily, just like that. And if there's any seeds, you can just bang it on the counter or wherever you like and get all the stuff out. And I'm gonna do that for the rest of my bell peppers. All right, now that all my bell peppers have their hats off, we are gonna put them in a tray. You can use whatever you want. I just have a cake pan that I'm using. I put aluminum foil in it just so it's an easier cleanup afterwards. So I have them all in here. I'm gonna put these in the oven at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. Pretty much while I make the filling, they'll be in the oven, and then I'll take them out and we put the filling in. Ready? Harry Potter, your onion. All right, now we're gonna take the hats from the bell pepper and we're gonna dice them up. Dice them up small, just like that. Into this bowl here with my onions and bell peppers, I'm gonna also be adding this angel hair coleslaw that I have. Needs to get used up. And I'm also gonna add a handful of carrots. And these are matchstick carrots. I'm always trying to sneak all the good stuff I can into dishes. Not only is it really good for you, but I have 2 toddlers, and when it's cooked down and things like this, they don't even notice, and they eat it all up. Into my pan, I have a good amount of olive oil, and I'm gonna be adding in my ground beef. You know I love this thing, so chop it up. Be back when this is finished cooking. Okay, so my meat's almost done cooking. I'm gonna go ahead and season this now. Garlic powder. A lot. Complete seasoning, a lot. Some adobo, a good amount. This will be what we're using instead of salt. Some cumin, a little bit, because it can be a little overpowering. You can always add more. Smoked paprika, again, it can be a little overpowering, so just start with a little bit, and then if you want more, you can add more. Last thing is some chili powder and just a good sprinkle, a heavy sprinkle. All right, now I'm gonna mix this up and continue cooking this with the meat for another like 1 minute. Alrighty, so now we're gonna be adding all this stuff in here. The cabbage, the carrots, the bell pepper, and the onion. All of it into the skillet, or whatever you call this thing. Mix it up really good, and we're gonna let the onions and peppers and all of that stuff, we're gonna let it cook down for a few minutes, probably about 5 minutes. I also wanted to add that putting all this extra stuff in here, like the cabbage and the carrots, it really doesn't take away from the taste. It really tastes good. Oftentimes, I can hardly tell it's even in there. My kids eat it and don't complain, and it really helps stretch the food, especially if you're trying to feed a big family. I'm gonna be adding in about 1 cup of marinara sauce. I know for this recipe, it can be made a lot of different ways, and most of the time people use tomato sauce. I like the flavor of this a little better, and we always have this on hand. I don't always have tomato sauce on hand. I try to, but not always. If I use it, sometimes I forget to restock it. So marinara sauce is a great alternative. I'm gonna give that a good stir. And I'm gonna be using this leftover rice that I have from the other night. I'm gonna add all of it in here. I don't know exactly how much is in here. I'd say about, probably about 2 cups. Maybe a little bit more, like 2.5, maybe 3. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be exact. I'm just using what we have so it doesn't go bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix all this up. I am gonna also add, you know what, I'm gonna add the rest. So that's about half a jar, roughly. And mix this all up really good. All right, the next step here is you're gonna fill up all the bell peppers, and then we're gonna be putting cheese on top before putting them back into the oven to finish cooking. I wanted to show you how much filling we have left after filling those up. I have plenty here for leftover. Okay, now that these are all stuffed to the top, I'm gonna be putting a good handful, I'm gonna be putting a good pinch of cheese on top of each one. And if you don't like cheese, you don't have to do this. You can use whatever cheese you want. I'm using sharp cheddar because that's what I have easily available. And I love sharp cheddar. It's one of my favorite cheeses. All right, just like that. And now these are gonna go into the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. This is my 5-quart Pyrex, and look how full it is of leftovers that we have extra for tomorrow night. Are you kidding? Look how good they came out. So I ended up cooking them for about 15 minutes in the oven, and I broil them for the top to brown for about 1 minute. I would start checking around 10 minutes because you don't want to overcook them, and every oven's a little different. So, but I had mine at 400 degrees. Now let's get one on a plate and try it. Okay, so I have it sliced in half so it can cool down a little faster. I'm gonna take my first bite. Yes, that is so good. If you need a really quick, easy meal, I 100% recommend this. It is so, so, so good. One tip, mine are a little bit, like they're cooked and tender, but they have a little like crunch to them. If you don't like that crunch, I'd recommend boiling them first before putting them in the oven with the filling. All right, let me know if you try this and what you think. Love you, bye.